I'm just getting into work myself. I'm just kind of
I just
waking up,
left
having my
work, so
coffee.
I feel you.
Ah, there you go. We're just trading out.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Morning.
Hey, how you doing? Oh crap, sorry. I got my little Edward Snowden sticky note over my camera. There we go.
All
Um, hi.
right, how's
Cool.
everybody
Hi.
doing today?
Good morning. Good, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah,
I'm all
well, thank
right.
you.
Oh, it's good. It's good to hear. Doing okay with everything going on? Not too bad.
Yeah, Canada is okay.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you guys about the pandemic in Australia because it started like it was going good. Like you guys were the first people I know to like party and have concerts. And then I heard you guys are in lockdown again. So how's that been going?
It is funny because like I feel like we were kind of like the envy of the world for a minute. Like it was like us, I guess New Zealand obviously
Yeah.
did the best, but like we were kind of up there with New Zealand and those kind of countries. And then I don't know, we were just really sloppy with our vaccinations, I guess, and there wasn't really any public push. And then obviously I guess so I've been in lockdown for like this is the ninth week, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dragging on a
So,
little.
yeah, it's going on, and it's just getting like more and more strict. Like they just bring in more and more things because the cases are still going up. So it's interesting. I mean, Scott would have another perspective because he's still working.
I saw that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's not many people working, but yeah, there's like
and-
cops and military everywhere.
yeah.
It's a thing.
Well, yeah,
It's
how have
heavy.
you guys been keeping busy besides work?
I actually went back to uni, so I'm studying psychology at the moment. So that's been super helpful. Because I've been like in and out of work for. I mean, we haven't played a show in probably close to. I mean, the last show we played would have been in November. So close to over a year and a half now.
For almost 2 years, I think now.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it's definitely. I've been like studying, and I've been reading into a lot of things. I started learning guitar, um, started playing bass. I don't know. I just picked up hobbies, and I went back to skateboarding, started surfing a lot. Lots of hobbies and interests, I guess. It's been good. I became a plant person, regrettably, so I have like 40 plants now.
I feel like that's
um,
fairly similar to other people as well. A lot of
yeah,
gardening, yeah.
yeah. I guess when you're stuck in your house, it's nice to have some greenery around. You know,
Yes,
the
exactly.
illusion of being outside, I guess, is kind of nice. What about you, Scott?
I mean, kind of the same. We kind of started the whole thing together because it was like we started making the album like week one or two of the damn pandemic. And so we kind of all started picking up new hobbies. And yeah, Josh in the studio picked up guitars and all that. And we started skating a lot. We had videos to shoot. It was all going really cool until like a couple months ago here. We were like just full stop on everything. But we were kicking at full speed still for like the first year without shows, obviously. But yeah.
Cool. And I also want to ask, because I just read that Scott, you recently joined the band. So I was wondering what your
Yes.
experience has been like, because I read that you used to tour with them. So it's like any
Yes.
different being an official member?
Well, so far the only difference is we haven't played a show. Otherwise, it's been much the same. I mean, I've known them all for many years. We used to play little tiny club shows together, like 5+ years ago. And yeah, I've been hanging out with them for like the last 3 or 4, and then just kind of it felt gradual and natural at the same time. It kind of just kept being apparent that the more we did, the more I was around, and they finally asked. They popped a question.
Uh, yeah, let's talk about the new album as well. I know it's self-titled, so I want to ask why, because this isn't your first album, which I feel like people do self-titled.
Hmm. I don't know. I feel like we tried to come up with names for a little while, and we were kind of thinking about what the album means. Um, it's our third album, and it's our final album. It's out on Hopeless, at least on this contract. So we kind of felt like it was to some degree like a bit of a culmination, and then this was the first album with Scott's input again. Like I guess the main idea behind it is that it kind of feels like this is the band, I guess, at this point. You know what I mean? Like we've kind of like the first two albums and the EPs, I mean, really it's all about like fleshing out, trying new things, different directions, different ways of writing a song at home versus writing a song on tour. Like there's all these different variables that are kind of moving, like recording in LA, recording in Australia, like all these different things we've kind of changed and tried. And then with this album, it kind of felt like we went back to Australia and we had Scott's input, and, you know, we had Stevie's input, who's the producer that did the EPs and the first album. So it just kind of felt like we knew what we were doing, and like we messed around with a bunch of stuff, and we just wanted to like do something that felt like the band, I guess. Like, yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that you guys recently played the album in its entirety, and I want to know about that experience because I'd heard it was like for Adobe Radio. Like, was it audio only, or was it like a live stream kind of thing?
I
Just
think it
audio,
was,
that one.
yeah. So that was actually just the recorded album. I think that was Jaden, right, with Fish.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like we got told day off, basically. I think that, you know, we've known Fish for forever, and he loves helping us out and playing our stuff. And we got a quick little text saying, "Hey, like we can do this tonight, basically, if you're cool." We just said go for it because it's I mean, that's sweet. Like a week ahead of time, we just dropped the whole thing, basically. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, a little sneak peek, which is always fun.
Yeah, and I was tweeting like crazy during all that.
Yeah, what
was
was
that?
your guys' thoughts after all that? You guys stoked that it's finally kind of out there?
Yeah, because I mean, like the original plan, like we recorded this album back in April, May of last year. So, I mean, the original release plan was to have it come out around August, September, and then for the last 4 months of the year, just go tour the world, you know, like do, well, you know, the world, but the territories that we've been lucky enough to get to do quite often. You know, we've done Asia a bit. We're quite comfortable in like Europe and America and Australia now. So, I mean, that was the goal. And then obviously the pandemic kind of kicked off as we were recording. And, you know, technically at some point we weren't even meant to be recording, but we were just, you know, we just did it. But I mean, safely, like none of us are silly. Like all of us understand the, like, you know, but it was literally like the four of us in the studio, and that was it. And then the producer. So we were safe, you know, we did everything responsibly. There was no real, you know, Australia had so few cases back then. But I mean, technically, whether or not it was an essential activity, it depends who you ask. To us, it was pretty essential, but
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the plan got totally changed, so it's nice to have the album coming out, I guess, finally. Because for us, this album is, some of these songs are 2 years old. You know, even the final recordings of them, we've had the final mixes pretty much since mid last year, I guess. So, you know, this album's a year old. So it's been pushed back and pushed back because we want to put it out and go play it. The reason we write music is to go play it, but at some point you just have to put it out because, you know, you can't sit on it forever, and people want to hear it. We want to get it out, like, so it's good.
Yeah. We've already got a couple more on the way for something else in the future. Who knows? If we ever get to hit that road, we'll probably have a couple more bangers to drop along with that. Who knows?
Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
What do you hope fans take away from this album?
Ooh. Scotty, I feel like I keep going first. You can go first. Feel free to jump in.
I mean, kind of like what Josh said. I feel like this is like it's catching you up, and it's the beginning of something as well. So this is like that little wheel that's going to turn past and present and future. I think that's the whole idea of it. It's like there's a little bit of old. We tried a couple of new things, like we threw some extra instruments in there we've never used before. The boys sung in some spots that they've never sung before, and that's confusing people. People don't know who's who, but it's fun like that. Like it's full of little toys. Like that was kind of the intention, was to create these cool songs with just really undeniably fun aspects, whether it's a serious song or not. But there's something cool and fun in every song. That was kind of the whole idea for me, anyway.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like, and you know, I mean, I hope people are at face value just entertained, I guess, and you know, it's a less, I wouldn't say like dreary, but we've tended to go through serious topics, and this album is, I guess, a bit of a breath of fresh air in the times that we're living in, and it's punchy and it's fun. And it's still got like, you know, it's obviously, it's not like plastic, like it's going through serious issues and addressing things, but it is a bit more fun for us, and I think it's a bit more just like, you know, you'll hear it and hopefully, you know, it will get you out of everything for 40 minutes, you know, and that's kind of fun. And it's one of the, like, all my favorite albums are the ones where you'll keep finding something new every time you go back to it. I think there's like been a lot of efforts by us to, like, we had some time in the studio to just go and try and add stuff, experiment with like trumpet and new things we've never had before. Like, so we've, you know, we've put some new touches on things, and that was fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
Oh.
It's kind of a random question, but it ties into your name. What gives you guys confidence?
Man.
Josh?
Oh man, I don't know. It's a hard question. Especially I would say like with the lockdown, it's forced. I've talked to a lot of musicians, and like when shows did start popping up again, I went to a couple in Sydney, and you know, they were weird. It was like you had to sit on a chair and you weren't allowed to go up and go to the bar. You had to push a buzzer and someone would come over. Like it was weird, but it was like all of us were pretty much collectively agreeing. We were just like, so what's this journey been like for you? Because it's been kind of like a departure in the way that normally we're like 9 months of the year, you're just like on the road in different cities. You always have all these distractions in front of you. And I think the most interesting thing for musicians being locked down and not being able to play is that you've kind of like, you've taken away like a big part of music, but you've also taken away a lot of the distraction of the lifestyle. So like, I mean, I guess that's something I've had to really address over the past year and a half, because from what I understand, like so many others, we're all kind of like running away from some stuff. So it's been a period of great reflection, and you know, it's been pretty in your face to kind of like work out what you're, you know, I don't know. So I guess for me, it's like that to some degree, there's always been some degree of imposter syndrome, even at times, you know, where you're not sure, you know, should I have this audience, or should I, you know, am I the right person for this? And like, it's interesting to go through all that sort of stuff. And like, I don't really know what confidence is. I guess it's a healthy thing, like, you know, to a degree. I think people should be confident, and I think it's something that will come with experience and learning. I don't know. So still working it out, I guess, is my answer.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of putting it. It's kind of ever evolving. But like, you know, you learn things, and definitely this period of time has been a reflective point. And it's like, for a lot of it, for the first half, it was like, you know, feeling down and feeling bad, but then you get to reflect and you start looking back at all the good things and all the great things you've learned from being there, and then also having it taken away from you, learning from that too. So all that has given me really good confidence that I feel like at some stages in a lot of bands, you're part of a machine or a beast or whatever, and it does feel like at a lot of times it's moving regardless of whether you're jumping on or not, and that's great. Like, that's part of the fun. But the whole beast came to a stop, and it's really being able to like make me reflect and look at how I can approach it when we are given this great, like, it's such a cool job to have. And when it's given back to us, I hope and I think a lot of people will treat it that way, because a lot of people don't at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, sorry. I'm happy I asked that. That was a good answer, guys. All right. And my last question is, what's next for you guys?
Oh man, I guess
Lots.
What can you do?
Yeah. I guess it's funny because it's always like there's a plan and then it gets reworked, and then the reworked plan gets reworked. I feel like we're on like plan X or Y at the moment. Like, we've been through them, but I don't know. I guess the plan is to get this album out in the next few days, and then the plan is to go play it. I guess when that becomes an option is just, there's an extra degree of complication in that Jaden lives in America. So, you know, even if Australia opens up and starts doing shows, whether or not it's feasible for Jaden to come here, there's obviously the international regulations generally are the toughest. Luckily he's a citizen here, so that makes it a bit easier. But I mean, yeah, the plan is to play the songs for the people. I mean, that's the goal. In the meantime, I guess we will start having to get more creative once an album's out, whether that's doing like a live live stream show or something like that at some point. Like, I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, the plan is definitely to start playing these songs.
Also, can't wait. Good luck. All right.
Thank you.
All right. I will let you guys go. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
Absolutely. Thank
No
you.
worries. Thanks, Ingrid.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
You
See you
too.
later.
Pleasure meeting you. See ya.